Baltimore, and we got some information for you about what happened with Chris Rock getting slapped by Will Smith at the Oscars. Eye on Baltimore and earache on Baltimore. We're going to have more excitement. Just stick around.
I'm nuts about downtown Baltimore's West Side. Hello, I'm John Waters, and I'm proud to say that Baltimore has always been my home. It's the inspiration behind all my films, including Hairspray, Crybaby, Serial Mom, and A Dirty Shame. Let me tell you, there are not a more eccentric, monumental, eclectic, intriguing, and character-filled 28 blocks anywhere in the world, and I'm here to prove it to you. Traveling Broadway shows like Phantom of the Opera and Disney's The Lion King, as well as events such as Russell Simmons' Deaf Poetry Jam and local community events now perform in Baltimore for the first time thanks to the Hippodrome Theater at the Franz Marek Performing Arts Center. And it's all happening in this one neighborhood called downtown Baltimore's West Side. Infectious, fashionable, full of vim and Baltimore vigor, I walk the West Side streets these days in amazement at what it's become. I'm nuts about downtown Baltimore's West Side. You will be, too.
Hello, this is John Carrington for Eye on Baltimore. And we interview folk who have lots of interest in Baltimore, but a lot of interesting things to say. I have with me Brittany and Ryan, and they're two up-and-coming actors. See, keep watching your movie screens, keep watching your TV sets, and you're going to see these faces. All right, Brittany, tell us a little bit about yourself here.
My name is Brittany Ryan. I am born and raised here in Baltimore. I have had a lot of training through Barbizon. I was in a magnet program for my high school. College, I did theater and creative writing, and I just recently, through the pandemic and everything, started actually getting film work. I worked as an extra for We Own This City and for The Clowns, which is a smaller thing. And I'm working on a project that I actually can't disclose the name of right now. It's called Flamingo, but it's going throughout the summer. And yeah, so I'm still putting myself out there to try and get more work, but...
All right, well, what has been your highlight so far?
I mean, this has been amazing to work here at.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no, definitely. But also, I've had a lot of fun on, a lot of my theater work was a lot of fun. I did a show called The Liar, where I got to play Cletone, and also just working as an extra for this other stuff has been fun to be on film.
All right, where do you want to be in 5 years?
Hopefully still in front of you guys.
Well, they close at 4, you know.
Never know. But yeah, I want to stay working in film. I want to talk about, go into writing maybe a little bit. Voice acting, some has always been a passion for me. So just trying to find opportunities and stick with them as they go.
All right. Well, Ryan, where do you hail from?
So I'm kind of from all over the place, actually. I was born in Jacksonville, Florida. My dad was in the Navy, so we moved around a bunch. But right now I live in D.C. But yeah, anyways, so I'm kind of looking for local gigs to get into acting. I did do a few extra, parts as well. I was in Rustin, this show, The Spook Who Sat by the Door, which is a remake of an old movie, but I don't think they're even making it anymore. And Dope Sick, which is like a Michael Keaton Hulu show. But anyways, my kind of route to this, where I am here now, was the opposite of Brittany's. It was kind of like non-traditional. I was more of a jock and academic, I guess you would say, and not acting. I've always been obsessed with like movies and TV. Like, I'm a huge movie and film geek. But I just I don't know, I never really pursued that, going that route. And my older brother's an actor too, so I was kind of always around actors. But I don't know, for some reason, even though I was into it, I just never did it. So I got a normal college degree and then a master's degree. But then halfway through my college, I was like, what am I doing? I'm super creative and I want to pursue acting, or actually I want to pursue writing movies and stuff. That's really when I get that's my 5-year goal or whatever that you were asking her. But yeah, I was just I want to do creative things, make stories and, make movies that have something you can take out of it. Because I feel like a lot of movies nowadays are either just trying to get made to make money or clout, which is fine. You can turn your brain off and watch a movie. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want to impart something on the viewer. not like a political lesson, but something like you have to adapt to change, or time is limited, just stuff like something where you can like watch it and be like, okay, yeah, I'll bring that to my life and make my life better.
Okay, you mentioned political. Rustin is a political trauma regarding in D.C. and a fellow who was organizing Dr. King's march. And what role did you play in that?
I was just an extra. I was in the Lincoln Memorial when MLK is doing his speech, and then I was like holding a sign during the march, marching through the city.
Watch Rustin. when you see Rustin and a guy holding a sign,
that's me.
Look very carefully and very quickly.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with more of our wonderful interview with Brittany and Ryan, and this is Eye on Baltimore. Don't go anywhere.
Now, see, you guys were able to really talk about yourself different than you could when you were hosting. Mm-hmm. He brought it out, and also, did you notice how I didn't have to interfere at all? Mm-hmm. You'll get there, like he's got it down, if you follow what I'm saying. So you'll get there, and it can be that quick, okay? And then so this fellow ran upstairs, and we didn't say goodbye to these guys, so I think what we'll do is come back with them, have last thoughts with them.
Okay.
Then we'll say goodbye to them and go to a break, and then we'll bring her on. And then he might come back with Princess. Princess is with him.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so now right now we're saying, coming back from that break, you okay? Coming back from... no.
You need anything? You all right? You want a drink of water? You want to take a break?
Thank you.
All right.
You gave it to me. No, thank you.
Okay.
So you're going to come back from the break and then say any last thoughts for both of them.
Okay.
All right. And action, John.
Hey, welcome back to Eye on Baltimore. And I have with me Brittany and Ryan, and they're two up-and-coming actors, an actress and an actor, and they're doing great things around Baltimore. Is there anything you'd like to add at this point?
My contact information, if you'd like to reach me, I'm at 443-953-8780 or brittrunk7@gmail.com.
All right. And, of course, Ryan, any last thoughts for you?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for having me. It was really cool being on this ship and everything, and being here on the show. And then if you want to contact me, I'm still getting my social media set up a little bit, I guess, but you can. My number is 703-955-1726, and my email is cramerr32@gmail.com.
All right. Yeah. And you mentioned that you were a jock. Let me guess. Punt returns for the Ravens.
Not for the Ravens. It's for John Champ High School, but yeah, punt returner, wide receiver, running back. Little quick guy.
I figure you were wiry, because if you get too small, you have to be wiry.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're big, you got to block and hit somebody, But wiry means that you're that quality athlete who has agility, mobility, and hostility.
I'd like to think I have all. Well, maybe not the last one. Maybe I could have used more of the last one. Maybe then I would be on the Baltimore Ravens, but...
Alrighty. By the way, you have any predictions for this coming season?
I predict for the Ravens or just...
Ravens.
Well, I'm an Eagles fan, so...
Alright, okay, Brittany...
I think Lamar's going to do great. I think he'll have a great year.
Oh, okay, alright.
Lamar's going to do fantastic.
I'm going to curtail our discussion on this side over here. Good old Brittany, you're a Baltimore person. What are your predictions for the Ravens this year?
Hey, I'm always for the Ravens taking it all the way, and if they don't, I'll still be supporting them because that's home team.
Alrighty. Well, I'm John Carrington. This is Eye on Baltimore. We have 1.5 Ravens fans here, and we want you to keep your eye on Baltimore because we're keeping our eye on you. We'll be right back with more. Hey, I'm John Carrington, and this is Eye on Baltimore. And, of course, we interview interesting people because we are keeping our eye on Baltimore and all the people who impact quality of life here in Baltimore. I have with me Gennaro
Yes,
Mamadova, and she is an up-and-coming actress. How did you get started acting?
Long time ago, probably 10 or 13 years ago. I used to be full-time accountant, and I worked at the office. But there was something missing in me. I'm CPA candidate, but something was missing there, and I was like, I need to do something. And I remember I saw the post, House of Cards, Baltimore, Maryland. I am from Baltimore, Maryland, very close. Central Casting was shooting the first year of House of Cards, and I think I am originally from Russia, and I was always fascinated with Hollywood movies. That was my thing. I used to watch Hollywood movies all the time. So it was just an amazing experience. And I remember when I'm reading about House of Cards, I was like, interesting, what show is about? It's about the cards. And after that, I discovered it was a White House. And I used to play White House employees there, so it was very interesting. And I see main star celebrities, Kevin Spacey and Robin Wright, and I was like, wow, I really know Robin Wright because I used to watch the big TV show Santa Barbara, used back in Russia, and it was my favorite TV show, and she was my favorite actress. She was very young that time in that show. And I was like, let me try, and I contacted, they selected me, and I worked for many, many days there because they were shooting like first season, and after that it was 6 seasons, so I was all the way with them, and I think I had a blast, and I got my SAG eligible thing, so it was like very interesting experience for me, like 10, maybe a little bit more than 10 years. I enjoyed it.
Your acting career started with transition from Russia to here. My question to you is, did your family come with you? Because it's really an awkward circumstance pursuing acting without family. Yeah.
No, I didn't pursue acting. I came here through marriage. I'm married to a U.S. citizen. It was a long time ago, and I have a child. But I used to have a bachelor's degree, and here I used to work as an accountant full time. But after that was something really missing. And I decided to act. I never been actress in Russia, never. It was like, I came very young here, maybe in my 20s. And there was something always dream, like interesting, what is that? Hollywood movies, and I remember like we were shooting like first episode, it was in John Hopkins, and it was a big speech of Kevin Spacey, and I was sitting there with all these people, and I was like, wow, this is very cool, it's an amazing experience. I felt like I'm in my dreamland. I loved it.
What kind of roles are you pursuing now? I mean, family type characters or action adventure? Where do you want to go with your acting style?
Well, I'm not sure, but I was like, I can be used, and I have this amazing experience. I did a lot of movies, and I really love it, and some also commercials and interactive videos, and but whenever I can be used, whenever I can have this amazing experience. I mean, it's not very easy because of my accent, because it's always there.
Well, I think that's a plus, really. It really
yes,
is.
if they will need someone with Russian accent, yes, it is a plus. But due to that, but whenever they need print, I also did a lot of print modeling as well. I did runway shows. I'm 5'7". I should be taller for that, but sometimes they select me. And so it was an interesting experience. And I also have a daughter, and I see a big potential in her. She doesn't have accent, she's US born, and I can teach her everything because I am in this field already for 10 or maybe 12 years. And she did first gig with me when she was 4 years old, and she really loved it. And we just had a blast with her. We worked for Department of Agriculture. We was shoppers at Organic Farm. So it was an interesting experience in Potomac, Maryland. And she loved it. So we did a couple of things with her as well. So I'm really trying to have her with me as a sidekick sometimes when school allows. And she did Wonder Woman as well.
Oh.
Yeah, she was selected there more than me. I probably got 2 days, and she got all 10. So it was a very interesting experience for me.
You have some valuable experience here. What advice do you have for up-and-coming actresses?
Pursue your dream and just follow your dreams and do whatever you feel like you can do. I mean, don't think like, oh, maybe something stops you. No, nothing can stop you, and you can always achieve something you really wish for, and your childhood dreams can come true. I mean, I would never think that I could be on the set with Kevin Spacey and Robin Wright, but it was an amazing experience, and I really loved it.
Where do you want to be in 5 years?
In 5 years, maybe have more acting work, and I hope they will need someone with Russian accent so I can use my speaking part and all my potential.
All right. Well, you know, the movie Dr. No was partially filmed here in, it was Goldfinger. They filmed some of the horse racing scenes at the horse ranch that Mr. Goldfinger had. It was filmed here in Maryland. And of course, they had some shots at the old Friendship Airport. Well, we're going to take a break right now, and we'll be back with more of Eye on Baltimore. Don't go anywhere.
Very good.
Okay, now we'll come back and say, okay, well, any last thoughts, and then say goodbye to her. Okay. All right, and coming back from the break?
Hey, welcome back to Eye on Baltimore. I am John Carrington, and of course, this here is Navarra. No,
That's all right, say it again. Gennaro.
Gennaro. This is Gennaro, and Gennaro is going to share with us her background in acting. She's from Russia, and she's here pursuing her acting career and having a wonderful time doing it. Do you have any other thoughts for us? Any final thoughts?
So it's follow your dreams.
Follow your dreams. That's a good way to put it. Because if you have a dream, you have a place that you want to go, and success is not a destination as much as it is a journey. So you're ongoing on that journey to find that dream. So
Life is a big adventure.
big adventure. Life is an adventure. Life is expensive too. We need more taxpayers. You actors who don't have jobs yet, get a job and pay some taxes and help us out, okay? All right, well, this is John Carrington. All right, we're going to take a little break. We'll be right back with more Eye on Baltimore. Hey, welcome back to Eye on Baltimore. I'm John Carrington, and we have some fresh faces here. Okay, we have BJ, we have Princess, and they're both up-and-coming actors aspiring to be at the Oscars when somebody gets slapped. I don't know. Well, let's ask BJ. Come on, talk about your career. And I've seen some of your stuff on the internet. Talk about what you've been doing.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a simple story. I've been doing voice acting for the past few years. I started off doing some screen acting way back when I was a kid. And I've been getting more into screen and stage acting in the current. I'm having a good time developing my craft, studying, meeting new people in and around the Baltimore, Maryland area and beyond. And I'm just really trying to see where this can take me. It's a passion finally being realized.
Yeah, I saw some of your stuff on the internet. You were a plumber in one little piece of action there. How long did it take you to pick up plumbing skills?
Well, in that particular bit, that was the Super Bowl commercial, and playing with the plumber for the company, I was Leak James, I think was the name. That was a fun piece. To get into character and just be there under the sink in the midst of a mess was fantastic.
All right. Okay. Oh wow, those noises all around us here, man.
Yeah.
What they're trying to do is rebuild Baltimore. Yeah.
Okay.
And they start with a sledgehammer right down here on the corner.
Fair enough.
Oh, okay, and here's Princess. Okay, Princess, you've got a lot of good work under the belt. In fact, you portrayed Nefertiti at the Great Blacks and Wax Museum. Talk about some of your acting gigs. I'm lying? Don't call me a liar. This is not Fox News.
Well, John, no, you're not a liar at all. I've just been casted.
I thought I was being transparent. Oh boy. Okay. Anyway, so now you are interested in acting. What are some of the steps you've taken to get to where you are now?
Some of the steps I've taken, well, I've put myself out there more. You know, I am an introvert. My parents told me no one's gonna find you in the basement. I started just applying for more things and, you know, creating a resume. So especially if you want to apply, like the producer said, you need to have an acting resume. So I just started working on extras. I think it was Saturday. I was on the set for a historical reenaction. Yeah, for PBS. That's gonna air January 1. So that's really the only thing I have underneath my belt. I'm still going.
Princess. Only thing she's ever done is something for PBS. She made $50 million doing that. She's still an introvert. You're the kind of introvert I want to be. I'm going to switch from being a Presbyterian to being an introvert, okay? Because it sounds like you're doing pretty good. So, where do you want to be? What do you want to be in about 5 years?
I really just want to be happy. I want to be successful. I want to be walking in my purpose. You know, I believe that this is a passion for me, so I am pursuing it. I would like to be done with school for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So what are you doing in school?
I do public health.
Okay, there's money in that. Everybody's getting older. Everybody's getting sick. And we need public health professionals to work the cash register. So you're pursuing that, and of course that's a fallback position because not everybody who starts off down the road in acting ends up being able to make a livelihood out of it. But who are your role models?
Okay, first of all, God. Second of all, my mother. Third of all, I really love Viola Davis.
Ah, yeah.
Yes, she's beautiful and inside and out, so that's what I want to portray.
Did you see her in Fences?
Oh, yes.
She was terrific in that.
Yes.
I would have slapped Denzel. Oh, sorry. No more slapping.
More slaps. There we go.
No more slapping. But you got some excellent role models to pursue. Now, if you could go back 10 years and change anything in your life, would you? And if so, what?
I definitely would, I don't have any regrets, but I do have things that I want to do differently. And in high school, I was not really studious, and I could have been, So I would definitely change that, because you can go to school for free. Like, definitely pay attention in high school and make sure you put your head down, Stay off the internet and leave the boys alone. Okay.
Yeah, that's good advice coming from Princess, okay? So you folks who are teetering on being studious or being stupid, this is your chance to make a change, to buckle down and get those grades right. Now, one of the motivations for me in school was the extracurricular activity of sports. Football, wrestling, track. I had to keep my grades up in order to be on the team. So that was my incentive to do well in school. What advice do you give our students who might be watching this piece?
Make sure that you sleep at night. Make sure that you sleep at night, get up early. Do enter sports, but make sure that you do things that you're interested in. And when you hang around people, don't hang around people that are only interested in being around you for how you may possibly make them feel. Make sure that you set your own lane and just be able to be a leader, not a follower. So that can definitely help you in school. So I wish I would have done that more.
You are so quiet and yet so profound. In what part of town were you raised in?
Germantown, like Montgomery County.
Okay.
I currently live in D.C. now.
Okay, D.C. All right, and BJ, your whereabouts? You are from Baltimore?
No, actually, born and raised in New York, but I've been living in the area for quite a few years and reside in Columbia now.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, if you could go back 10 years and change anything in your life, would you? And if so, what?
Go back 10 years and change anything. Especially with respect to acting and what I'm trying to do now, would have just gotten started sooner. You go down a path and then you go down another path. And I just wish I would have decided to divert and get down this path a little bit sooner. That's really about it. I can't think of too much of my life I would change. I think I got it pretty good.
All righty. Which actor is your role model? Or actors or actresses?
Gosh, there's so many. And it kind of changes as they're out. Current favorites include Sterling K. Brown, who people say, actually, I think he resembles my father a lot. People say that we have a lot of similar characteristics. But just, the life that he's brought to his character on This Is Us is just remarkable. Anthony Anderson, somebody who I feel we have kindred personalities, and he's done his acting. He's done a lot of comedic acting. He's done more serious, like even back in the day with Law and Order, and I think they're rebooting that recently. But I like his lane. He's got a lot of personality, and outside of acting, he's been a host and MC for a variety of shows, which is a lane that I'm really looking to get into. So I would say right in the here and now, those are two of my biggest inspirations.
Okay. Reaction. Will Smith smacked Chris Rock at the Oscars. Reaction.
Disbelief, trying to understand whether it was real, whether it was staged, understanding from the man's perspective, protecting his wife versus not, any man would want to protect his wife at all costs, but under these circumstances could have been handled differently. There's a lot of unknowns, in all honesty. If it was what it was, I would say it would probably have been better done not on camera, because every once in a while people do deserve to get smacked. But sometimes you got to pick the time and place to do so. So I'm not sure that was ideal.
Okay, your perspective on that, for instance.
I thought he did deserve it because it's not the first instance that he has talked about somebody's wife. Comedians have a tendency to just joke about life, and some people aren't that way. I thought he did deserve it, but then when I thought about Will Smith, the backlash from it, I think he took a trip to India now and he was crying and I was just like, aw, maybe he shouldn't have stepped out his character to protect his wife because they do have a rocky relationship too, but that's neither here or there. I thought he deserved it.
Can I ask a question? The comedian and understanding, usually there's a license that comes with that. When you're on stage and you get to make jokes, and whether it's political satire or observation of human about society, comedians at the core, they bring these things out and they're allowed to talk about things in ways that other people aren't allowed to. So even in that moment, and I don't see the joke as having been so derogatory. It was bridging the gap in a positive way. Would he not have been allowed a license, even if you felt it after the fact and say, hey, man, that was a little bit too far, but because you're a comedian versus just a regular person just shouting stuff from the sidelines, is there some leeway?
I got you.
There definitely is because I've seen some of the most horriblest things made really funny, like Cat Williams, what's that other, Dave Chappelle,
Yeah, we have the lawnmower going past on the harbor. I don't know how they're cutting the lawn on the harbor, but that's what that sounds like, folks. So bear with us as we try to dig through the weeds on what's going on with Will Smith and Chris Rock. Okay, you were saying.
They have the talent for that to take, comedy, make it sinister, make it however they want. But as far as Jada Pinkett, she has a condition, and we don't know how long she may be here. So I felt like when she wasn't happy, as a spouse, of course that's going to come out, So there is definitely leeway, but they're in the same group of celebrities, so maybe they're friends and he didn't expect that from him. There's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of things that we don't know.
Yeah, there's unknown unknowns in that scenario, so more often than not, it's best to just mind your business.
Well, Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith, and Jada Pinkett, who's from Baltimore, didn't say a word. She just moved her body Baltimore style, rolled her eyes, and Will got the message, and now we're talking about it. Well, everybody, that's how Eye on Baltimore rolls. We grab what's out on the street and what's in the air, and we keep our eye on Baltimore and our eye on you. We're coming to another end of another episode of Eye on Baltimore, and I just want to thank BJ and Princess for being a part of it. And you folks, remember to tune in every week at this time to check out what's happening around Baltimore, because this is Eye on Baltimore. Thank you, and bye-bye.